There we go. Now you guys can hear me. Good morning, good morning. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are getting excited about the markets. We just had a really good USCAD short trade. Played out to perfection. I laid out the whole trade from beginning to end. Gave you the reasoning behind it, the logic, and it's doing exactly that. Playing out to the downside, just as we had suspected gold was going to start to rally. We had a wonderful long signal. So we're going to go through those and take a look at what's going on. Take a look at how price is playing out and break it down to you as we always do here. So welcome again. Good morning. Let me just shrink me down here, give you a better view of the charts. And take a look at that, ladies and gents, huh? How do you like that? Long signal from down here, bulletproof target hit, and now we're on the way to break through the 4-hour area of supply, just like magic, eh? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is what's going on now, and I suspect it's going to continue moving to the upside and continue breaking through this area. And then we're going to be going even higher. So right now we're making our way through this area of supply. Okay, it was previously contacted once before here, second time here, and now it's making its move to break through. Beautiful. I wonder on a 1-hour time frame if there was some kind of a demand zone that it retraced to. Not the greatest area, not really. But potential demand soon once this area gets taken out. Obviously buying is coming into play here. This played out perfectly using the RSI strategy. Okay, RSI, remember we were talking about it? RSI had a weekly demand zone that was here, located here. Price came into weekly demand, RSI 40, boom, there's your signal. Okay, and look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Bulletproof target. And now it's going even higher. So that's working out perfectly. And we also just closed out a USCAD short trade. I put out a poll for you guys. Was wondering what your view was on the dollar. And it looks like your view was that the majority of you had come to the conclusion that the US dollar was likely going to rally. Yes, we were watching for that at one point, but in trading, you have to be very adaptable, okay? You have to be able to adapt to what is taking place in the market and be aware of what's going on. Because if you get too stuck and too focused on the market's going to do one thing, then it's going to blind you to what the market is presenting you, okay? We were looking at, well, first of all, let me show you the trade that we took here. It's a wonderful trade. 15-minute or 4-hour area of supply was created here, right here. So we took it down to the 15-minute chart and looked for the 15-minute entry. And sure enough, we got it. And that signal was, you know, big RSI here, and then price came down and produced the RSI here of 60 on the rally up. So we knew that this was a great area to base risk off of. So that was the trade to enter here, stop loss up here, and target down here. This is the reasonable, easy to achieve target, okay? So this is exactly the move that took place, and this is exactly what we were expecting was that move. Now we exited, we took our profits, and now we move on to the next opportunities, okay? So so that's working out quite well. And as you could see here, price is moving to the downside. Now at one point, we were watching for price to come down, produce an RSI of 40 for a larger move to the upside. But through the analysis that we've been doing, we've been seeing evidence to support that the euro was going to continue higher and the pound was going to continue higher and gold was going to continue higher. So with that all in line, it was difficult to expect price to rally up here on the US CAD. So since I knew that, I was focusing on the selling. I was focusing on price going lower. So I wanted to locate a selling area that the banks had created, which was exactly here. And I wanted to take advantage of this short-term selling that was coming into the market. And that's how I planned this trade and executed this trade, was with that understanding that short-term selling was going to come into play, okay? So, US Swiss is weak, US dollar Japanese yen. US dollar Japanese yen was that one asset that we were looking at that was giving us a very strong indication that it was going to drop, okay? And the reason being, as I've been pointing out, RSI, right, is suggesting that the drop is going to take place. So, and now you can see exactly that it is, okay? And I laid all this out for you before. Was even talking to you about the momentum shifting here. Great. And that was our daily long signal that reached the target. So that was another winner of ours. But as you can see, after the target was hit, there was not much going on here. RSI went above 60, and it's just been weakness ever since, okay? So this is not a case where they're starting to build momentum to shift it to the upside. This is, that momentum already shifted on the daily, and now it's starting to die down, and pressure is starting to come into the downside. So, I'm going to be looking for new opportunities to get into a short trade here. It might be off of the daily demand zone. There's a daily demand zone down here, so I'll be watching this to see how it gets taken out, and then look for supply zones to jump in. So the opportunities are still there, okay? Opportunities are still there for a trade. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Looks like it's producing an opportunity here, right? We had institutional demand here. Now it's retracing to demand. So I'd like to go to a 1 hour time frame, watch as price comes into this demand zone. So far RSI is, take a look, 33. So we wait for a move up, come back down, wait for an RSI around 40. That's your long signal. But this looks good for a continued move to the upside. Not bad. I would obviously prefer to have, let's see if we have it here. No, we don't really have a, yeah, we do have a weekly uptrend. It did not come into demand, and it's taking off. It didn't close above previous high. So there are some risks involved in taking a trade off the daily demand zone. But if you bring it down to the 1 hour time frame, like I was saying, and trade it that way, then you have higher odds. Okay. NatGas still in a long trade here. Got in off of this RSI dip here at 43, and it's gone up a little bit down. Looks kind of weak. May not work. And if it doesn't, we move on. Okay. This was price coming down into a monthly area of demand. So watching for momentum to shift on the daily time frame. Okay. There's a lot of reasons why this trade could not work. So, it was just testing out an idea and seeing if it would work or not. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. We move on. Okay. It's not the end of the world. Let's see silver. How's silver looking? Pretty good. Not as aggressive or as strong as gold. Still holding that supply. We talked about that supply. We need that supply to be removed to create demand, and then we could have some long trades again. But overall, look at euro. Okay? Look at euro and look at pound. Look at pound specifically. Look at that move. You see how we were watching for the short signal, and we got that move to the downside, and we were looking at the, what was it, the 1 hour time frame. Yeah. And it started to work. We moved our stop, and we got a small profit on that. It didn't move all the way down to here, down to our target. And so that was the first indication that something was changing, okay? Because we know what to expect when certain things happen. And so the expectation was price would at least get down to our target here. And so when things don't play out based on our expectations and what we know to be true about how the banks trade and how price moves in the markets based on the individual time frames, once we saw that that wasn't taking place, then we knew it was very likely the dynamic was going to shift and something else was going to happen. And what is that something else? Change of momentum, and price goes higher. If it's not going to go lower, then it's either going to go sideways or higher. And we knew sideways was unlikely because the momentum should have been to the downside here. And so since it changed, it was likely going to go higher. And so adding this to the US Japanese yen and what we were seeing there, it was pretty clear that these moves were going to take place. Okay. So that's it. I'm going to leave you with that. I think that was some decent insight. If you guys have been following us along, then you know what we've been expecting. I've been taking you through each and every step of the way of what's happening in the markets, why it's happening, the logic behind it. Been giving you some really exclusive insights as to the analysis that we do here at the school. Hopefully it was helpful for you. Hopefully, you're making money off of some of the information that we're giving to you. Obviously, we're not giving you trades or trading advice. We cannot advise on what trades you should take. I share with you what I trade, and maybe you use it in a way that can better your portfolios. And that's it. I will leave you at that. I have a live session that I'm going to do for about an hour with members. We're going to dive deeper into the markets. We're going to also look at the equities markets and see if there's any new opportunities for us. I think there's going to be some nice hot ones. Anyways, if you want to join us in those sessions, you come and join us. whiteoakfx.com, become a student, and you can join us. All right, my friends, you take care. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and we will talk to you soon.